Hello and welcome to the first episode of Get Hired as a Digital Coach. I'm Sam and I'm a Communications and Marketing Assistant here in the Careers Studio. Today we are going to be talking about the exciting Digital Coach Programme. This exclusive programme is an amazing opportunity to learn new digital skills, network across businesses in Liverpool, meet students across the university and enhance your professional and personal skills. The programme has been running for the past 2 years and because of its success, we are currently recruiting for the next cohort. Today I am here with two past participants of the programme, Lucky Ali and Jack Thorpe, who are here to talk a bit more about the benefits of the programme, how they have developed a sense of community and friendship whilst taking part, and hopefully encourage students listening to take part and apply. So hello Jack and Lucky, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves for the listeners.
Hello, I'm Lucky and I'm currently working as an Enterprise and Employability Executive here at the Careers and Employability.
And hi, I'm Jack. I'm currently also working in Careers and Employability as the Graduate Transitions Executive.
Okay, brilliant. Hi guys. So my first question for you is, how did you find out about the Digital Coach Programme and what sort of initially attracted you to the programme?
So I first found out about the Digital Coach Programme through an email that was sent through our faculty in the Careers and Employability service. So it was on the night I received it. I was currently out walking with my dad and the dog, and very much sort of the thing that sort of attracted me to it straight away was that I hadn't had much sort of experience in sort of kind of improving my sort of employability, improving my sort of work experience, and being a commuter, it was very much sort of hard to get. I always found it was hard to get those experiences, and so this was very much a way to get those experiences, and not just to get them, to actually get paid for learning them as well, which was a brilliant bonus.
And I found out a similar way, and I think it was through a newsletter from our Liverpool Life Sciences faculty team, and there were a few things that really stand out to me on the actual description of the Digital Accelerator Programme. The first thing was the word digital, because while we were in COVID, we found out how the digital industry is growing and how it has the potential to empower us. And then the other word was a commuting student. And as a commuter student, as Jack mentioned, we usually don't get those experiences of living on campus, because for me personally it was mainly like lecture theatres, library and home, and that's it. Could not get I would say meeting friends or anything outside my course mates. So I used to think that okay, it's very much focused into commuting students, there must be something special to it. So it's been great that I really applied.
So when you saw the application, it sort of ticked every box for you for a paid role based on campus, and the digital skills as well. That was something that really drew you to apply?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it was very much just sort of getting that experience, getting the paid experience, and being around people like us, the commuters, that sort of, so that we didn't feel sort of outliers inside of a group because everyone else was sort of in halls, in residence, and they all knew each other. It was very much we all met as a group of outsiders to bond together.
So how did you find the actual programme itself, connecting with all the different Liverpool-based businesses? What was it like working, as you said, with your commuter students?
In terms of how the project actually sort of ran, it was ran brilliantly by Agent Academy, who are sort of a marketing agency that work down in the Baltic market and have brilliant connections with all these sort of employers that you get to work alongside throughout the programme. And each day you were working, it was something different. There was a different employer in, there was a different activity you were doing, something else you were learning, and it very much just kept everything quite fresh and different.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember our first in-person event at Avenue HQ, where it was our first time to actually meet everyone in person, face to face, even though we've been meeting for so long on Zoom, but it was so different. And we really, I think that day was like kind of how our bond got really strong, and we became even more closer to each other as a friends, and we became like a big family as like 19 digital coaches. And also in terms of the program, as Jack mentioned, it was really fresh and very unique in sense of every week you're gonna learn something different. It's not that every other week will be different. We will be meeting a different professional, industry professional from the Liverpool City region. You'll be connecting with them, and I think that when we actually got on LinkedIn, isn't it, Jack, that we really found it to be like an exciting opportunity for us to get on the platform and connect to anyone and everyone. It was really exciting. And also like from Agent Academy, I remember one of the quote was that you really need to get out of your comfort zone, and we used to introduce ourselves even though we were really quiet, and then encourage us to like speak and ask questions during the sessions and also be engaged. So I think it really developed our confidence throughout these 8 weeks.
Yeah, I do remember that each session we had one person nominated to ask a question, one person nominated to end the session off for thank the employer. We all had to be sort of introducing ourselves to every employer that came on, and as daunting as it was to start off with, it's the essential skills you need when you're now working online again post COVID. All those sort of the hybrid way of working is just how everything is now. So if we didn't do all that, I doubt we would have the confidence, the skills to now be working in the roles we're in now, in terms of how the Teams meetings and things like that, or even just being in-person meetings in the first place.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. It really helped.
And definitely as well, when you're sort of in university life, you're focused on handing in essays and doing exams and things like that. You sort of lack that soft skills communication side of things. You're thinking about numbers and texts and everything to remember, and you're thinking about university in terms of getting your degree at the end. The programme definitely helped with your confidence, but it also helped you how to talk to people, which seems strange, but you were kind of faced with employers from all over who've got years worth of experience, but they're looking for fresh minds like yourself who are going to get the degree and then at the end of it come to them to look for a job. After the programme took place, you then came back onto campus and you delivered workshops teaching students about what you'd learned, so your digital skills side of things, but also really as ambassadors for the programme. So how did you find coming back onto campus and teaching the students what you had learned?
I think this was the very sort of exciting but nerve-wracking part of the whole process, in terms of how all the skills that we built while doing the training prepared us for the sessions we were going to run. But you couldn't help but be that bit nervous that you were going to be talking to the rest of the university students about something you'd just been learning about. But as exciting and nerve-wracking as it was a brilliant experience to go through, and the skills that we gained from doing it, I think, can't be exaggerated enough. And then as soon as we started doing these sessions where there was a bit less pressure, there was something, the amount of students built up over time as our names got out there, our sessions were promoted more, and you got that sort of confidence in doing it, that you realise this is actually all right. And I was able to basically the presentation at the end of my dissertation went from being this massive worry to being I don't need to do an essay for once. And so it was in terms of the presenting, I think that's where I found it.
I also think that presenting has been one of our biggest worry when presenting. I think even now, no matter how prepared you are, if you have to give a presentation, you always feel nervous. And I've always been passionate about teaching, and I think this program also prepared us to be how to create content, how to create educational content in particular, and also present it to your peers. They can be from like any degree program, so you also have that challenge of targeting an audience that you don't know really much about them. So you need to convey the message in a way that it's understandable, it's creative, as well as that it's actually beneficial at the end, so they are actually getting something out of the session. And I think because delivering the sessions, I feel like the university became so much more than just a degree and just a lecture theatre or library. It became so much more than that. It became, I would say, I felt so much passionate about being in university because I spent like 2 years like studying online and like submitting my essays online, and really felt distant from university and campus and not really wanting to go back on campus. And so I think that program really pushed me to go back, and I was actually very much in stand like don't have to push me at the end. I actually was feeling like, no, I want to go to university. I want to meet the students who is coming to my session, and I really want to make the most out of my last year, because I feel like, oh, it's finishing now. Whereas first it was like, oh, it's 3 years, it's gonna be really long. But at the end I feel like, oh, it's flight, and it's been really, so I think this program really changed our mindset as a student, and as well as being within university campus, that it's so much more than what we actually see university as.
My next question was going to be what the main benefits are, but I think you've definitely covered everything that sort of stands out from the programme and how it's sort of a full circle. You've started off nervous, unsure, but you've given it a go, and you've developed, your professional skills, your personal skills, and you're excelling in your current graduate roles now. So I'll end on the last final question. So what is the one piece of advice that you would give to someone thinking of applying for the digital coach role?
I think sort of biggest piece of advice for the digital coach role and for opportunities in general, because I know the commuter students can have this mindset of not really being sort of properly part of the university. I think sort of Lucky can sort of agree to this, and the way in which sort of university life ends up for commuter students is just sort of to be saying yes, to be giving things a go, because the more you get involved with, the more opportunities you'll then see in the future. So you might not think, oh, I don't want to go into something digital. I was biology, Lucky, I know, was biomedicine. We had lots, sort of some English and maths and physics. We had a whole variety of students, and it was very much sort of like just because you don't think it might be relevant, the skills that you might gain from it, the connections you make through it, are all just sort of valuable in their own sense, and you never know where you might end up. We, because of the role, we had a meeting with our manager then, who introduced us to the graduate intern roles that we're now in, and we wouldn't have known about them if we weren't digital coaches, and we wouldn't have met each other as well.
Yeah.
So in terms of sort of top tips, it's the give it a go, it's the say yes, it's the look for your opportunities and just get involved.
I totally agree with you, Jack, yes. And also, if you're unsure when you see the description, that you might think the word digital might scare you. You might think, we are both from life sciences degrees, and we might sort of, if you think like, I'm not very tech person, or I'm not very good at technology, but itself, the program, it is digital because it empowers you to be more digitalized and things, but not that you will need any prior experience. And so I'll definitely say yes to these kind of opportunities, and don't limit yourself just to thinking that it is not related to your degree program, or it's not related to where you actually want to have your career in, or if it's not related to your preferred industry. But just give it a go, and I'm sure you're gonna love it.
Oh, and you'll love the blue hoodies as well. I still have mine in the bottom of the wardrobe. They're brilliant.
A classic blue hoodie to sum it up. A big thank you to our guests today, Jack and Lucky. It has been great to listen to you speak about the programme, what you've gained from it, and where you are now. So thank you very much both. For anyone who is interested in the programme and becoming a digital coach, you can find more details on Handshake. All you have to do is submit your CV and a brief explanation as to why you want to become a digital coach. And I'm sure you've got many ideas after listening to them both today. The deadline for applications is 4 p.m. on Friday, the 31st of